Hey, can you find out if this giant can act? Reacher's Alan Ritchson was key to getting a major villain cast, star reveals. Reacher star Olivier Richters reveals Alan Ritchson was key to his casting as a major villain in the show. Richters, an international bodybuilder and actor who is also known as the Dutch Giant, joined the Reacher cast as Polly Van Hoven in Season 3. In the Prime Video show, Polly is a former U.S. soldier who works as a henchman for Zachary Beck Anthony Michael Hall, but is under direct orders from Xavier Quinn Brian T. In an interview with Screen Rant, Richters reveals that Ritchson, who plays the titular role of Reacher, had a great deal to do with his Season 3 casting. The actor shared his first reaction after hearing Ritchson was involved in casting him and revealed that the audition involved a gym scene and one with Reacher, which he initially did the scene wrong, but was offered a second chance before receiving the good news. Check out his comments below. I sent him an Instagram message, and I think he never read it. I told him, hey, I just heard that I have an audition for Reacher and that it's thanks to you. I don't know if I'm going to get the part, but thank you so far. So that was my instant response. He found me on Reddit. Somebody posted me and he asked casting, hey, can you find out if this giant can act? The casting sent my agents 2 scenes. It was actually the gym scene and the first scene in the season where I meet Reacher at the gates. I uploaded those videos and they told me they can see that I'm Polly, but I did the scene wrong. I did it very playfully. I wanted to make Reacher feel like a child, but they wanted a straight face. So then I gave them that tape, and a few weeks later I heard, you got the part, and I went nuts. I had already watched Season 1. I was halfway through Season 2 because Season 2 was releasing every week, so I was already a fan, and it's very unrealistic that you're a fan of the show and then, a few months later, you're across the main character you used to watch. Sometimes I say it feels like I live in the Matrix, you don't know what's real anymore. Richter's casting is a crucial factor in making Polly a worthy Season 3 villain. Being 7 feet and 2 inches tall and much bulkier than Reacher, Richters is the most physically threatening character in Season 3. His casting also made the fight scene between him and the titular character one of the most anticipated moments in Reacher Season 3. Ritchson has previously revealed that their epic fight scene was one of the most challenging scenes he filmed, which took 3 weeks and involved broken bones. Richters is a bodybuilder, fitness model, and actor whose work can be seen in blockbuster productions, including in the cast of Marvel's Black Widow, The King's Man, Borderlands, and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. He has previously revealed that there were no special visual effects involved to amplify his character, whereas Ritchson had previously admitted that the production team used visual effects to place emphasis on Reacher's presence in certain scenes. When it comes to casting the right villain, the stakes are sky high, especially in a show like Reacher, where muscle meets mind, and danger is always one wrong move away. But behind the scenes of Prime Video's hit series, one unlikely hero helped steer the show toward a pitch-perfect antagonist, Reacher himself, Alan Ritchson. In a recent interview, one of the show's producers dropped a fascinating behind-the-scenes bombshell. A major villain in season may second and never have been cast, if not for a casual but fateful question that started it all. Hey, can you find out if this giant can act? Yes, you read that right. The hulking 6'3" actor who plays ex-military drifter Jack Reacher turned out to be more than just the show's leading man. According to insiders, Ritchson played a surprising role in helping land one of the show's most memorable antagonists. His involvement? Not just encouragement, but the spark that got the whole conversation started. Big guy, bigger influence. At first glance, Alan Ritchson looks every bit the action hero. Broad-shouldered, square-jawed, and seemingly carved out of granite. But those who work with him know he brings more than just brawn to the table. He's got a sharp eye for character, says Reacher showrunner Nick Santora. Alan understands that the hero is only as good as his villain. So when we were debating potential actors for one of our Season 2 antagonists, Alan was right in the middle of that process, not officially, of course, but he had a real instinct for it. The role in question? Langston, a chilling mercenary with brains and brutality to match Reacher's own. But finding the right actor to embody Langston proved tricky. The writers needed someone who could go toe-to-toe with Ritchson, not just physically, but in presence, intensity, and intelligence. That's when Ritchson casually suggested an actor he'd worked with on a prior project. The twist? The guy was massive. as in Reacher-sized. Maybe even a touch bigger. Allen basically said, "Look, this guy's got the physicality, but more importantly, he's got layers," recalls Santora. The studio was intrigued, but hesitant. That's when someone asked, "Hey, can you find out if this giant can act?" The unlikely recommendation, "So, who is this mystery actor?" While the studio hasn't officially confirmed it, sources close to production point to Ferdinand Kingsley, the actor who ultimately brought Langston to life with an unnerving, calculating presence. Best known before Reacher for roles in Mank and Victoria, Kingsley wasn't an obvious pick for an action-heavy series. But that may have been the genius of it. Allen wasn't just recommending a guy to throw punches, Santora adds. He wanted someone who could play against expectations. Langston isn't just muscle, he's manipulative, cold, strategic. Allen saw something in Ferdinand that maybe others didn't at first. The casting team brought Kingsley in for a reading, and the result was electric. Not only did he embody Langston's ruthless edge, he brought a chilling subtlety that elevated the entire dynamic of Season 2. His scenes opposite Ritchson crackled with tension, not just from their looming physical showdown, but from the psychological warfare that simmered beneath their exchanges. On-screen chemistry, off-screen respect. Fans immediately noticed the tension between Reacher and Langston. The cat and mouse game, the silent intimidation, the verbal sparring, it all felt deeply personal. That's no accident, according to Ritchson. "I love when a villain is smart," he said in a podcast interview following Season 2's release. "You can't just beat someone up and call that a story." Langston made Reacher think. He challenged him. That's what makes it compelling. Ritchson has spoken before about how he views Reacher as a thinking man's action show. Jack Reacher isn't just fists, he says. He's a chess player. So the villains need to be great chess players too. It turns out, behind the scenes, Ritchson was also playing a different kind of chess, moving pieces, asking questions, nudging the right people to look in the right places. The power of knowing what works. Ritchson's involvement in the casting process may not have been formal, but it points to a growing trend in modern television, actors shaping the stories they inhabit. And in Ritchson's case, it's more than justified. Since its debut, Reacher has earned rave reviews for its loyalty to Lee Child's books, its grounded brutality, and Ritchson's stoic, slow-burn performance. He is Jack Reacher to millions of viewers, and he knows what kind of foe makes that story sing. "We always planned for Langston to be a cerebral antagonist," says executive producer Scott Sullivan. "But once we saw what Ferdinand did with the role, it went to another level. And that might not have happened if Allen hadn't nudged us." Kingsley himself has been humble about the experience, but in a rare comment, he nodded to Ritchson's influence. Allen was incredibly generous. It's not often a lead actor takes time to elevate others. He had faith in what I could bring, and that made all the difference. From hero to creative collaborator,